Hello, and a very warm welcome to Senior Wellness. I am Dr. Robert. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever woken up, looked in the mirror, and quietly wondered, is this just how aging feels? Your hands a little colder, your steps a little slower, and that spark, the one that used to make mornings exciting, feels like it's grown dimmer with time. You're not alone. I've met so many men and women in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, who've whispered the same quiet thought. I don't feel like myself anymore. But here's something I've learned after more than 30 years walking this journey with seniors. What we often blame on aging might actually be something else entirely. And more importantly, it might be reversible. Let me ask you this. What if the secret to feeling more energetic, clear-minded, and even more connected to your partner wasn't found in a pill bottle, but in your pantry? Yes, your kitchen, because today we're not going to talk about medicine or machines. We're going to talk about something more natural, more enjoyable, and often overlooked. 5 everyday foods, simple, delicious, backed by science that can gently and powerfully wake up your circulation, boost your vitality, and bring life back into your days. Sounds too simple, right? But stay with me, because I'll show you how these foods have transformed the lives of thousands of seniors I've worked with, men and women who thought their best days were behind them, but discovered they were just getting started. And the 4th food on this list, chances are it's already in your fridge. You just never knew what it could really do. Before we start exploring simple ways to stay healthy and well, I'd be truly grateful if you could take a moment to like this video. That small gesture helps more people just like you discover these gentle, useful tips. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. That way, whenever we share something new, you'll be the first to know, and we'd love to have you with us. Let's begin. First, let us talk about garlic, the artery polisher. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Garlic? Its aroma is certainly distinctive, and perhaps it is more famous for warding off vampires than for boosting vitality. But what if I told you this humble bulb is a titan in the world of circulatory health? There is something truly remarkable about garlic. I recall a gentleman, Mr. Henderson, 72 years young, who often complained about a persistent coolness in his hands and feet and a general sluggishness that kept him from his beloved woodworking. He was skeptical when I suggested incorporating more fresh garlic into his diet. Many ask me, Doctor, how should I take it? Well, fresh garlic, whether minced into your stir fries, roasted whole until sweet and tender, or even for the bold, a small clove consumed raw after crushing it to release that vital allicin, can be wonderfully effective. For those with sensitive stomachs, consuming garlic with a meal rather than on an empty stomach, or opting for roasted garlic, which is often gentler, can be helpful. Some even find benefits in aged black garlic or specific garlic supplements, though I always advocate for whole foods first. Perhaps starting with 1 to 2 cloves a day incorporated into your meals is a good benchmark. A few months after Mr. Henderson started, he returned with a newfound twinkle in his eye. "It is the strangest thing, Doc," he said. "I feel warmer, more alive." That is the magic of allicin, a powerful compound released when garlic is chopped or crushed. Allicin acts almost like a gentle scouring brush for your arteries, helping to discourage plaque buildup, support healthy blood pressure, and improve the overall elasticity of your blood vessels. This is not merely beneficial for your heart, it is transformative for those smaller, delicate vessels that nourish every part of your being, enhancing energy and sensation. This is nature's own internal cleansing service, working quietly but profoundly. But garlic is just our delicious overture. Are you ready to discover a leafy green powerhouse that many overlook? Yet it works wonders for keeping your internal pathways supple. You might be surprised by this next one. Number 2, spinach, the verdant vessel opener. I have spoken with so many vibrant seniors, men and women in their late 60s and 70s, who describe a creeping fatigue, a sense that their inner spark was dimming. They felt less engaged, less connected. Yet when we peel back the layers, underlying issue, so very often, is compromised blood flow. And the remedy? Frequently, it began with something as unassuming as spinach. Yes, that very same spinach you might push to the side of your plate. This leafy green might not scream excitement, but its impact on your internal river of life is truly potent. Spinach is wonderfully rich in natural nitrates, magnesium, and folate. Now, a common question I get is, Dr. Robert, is it better raw or cooked? And that is a great question. While raw spinach in a salad offers wonderful fiber and some nutrients, cooking spinach can actually increase the bioavailability of certain minerals like magnesium and make those beneficial nitrates more accessible to your body. Lightly steaming or wilting it into your dishes is a fantastic way to maximize its benefits. It is worth noting for those prone to oxalate kidney stones, moderation is key with spinach, as with all oxalate-rich foods. But for most, it is a fantastic addition. These nutrients encourage your arteries to relax and widen, reducing stiffness in your blood vessels and allowing circulation to flow with greater ease. For anyone over 60, this translates to increased energy, sharper mental clarity, and, crucially, improved blood flow to all extremities. I remember Mrs. Albright, a spirited 69-year-old, who was initially hesitant. But after consistently adding spinach to her morning smoothies, or as a side with her evening meal for just a few weeks, she came back beaming. "Dr. Robert," she exclaimed, "I have the energy to play with my grandchildren again. It is like a fog has lifted." That change was not a miracle. It was improved oxygen delivery, better vascular tone, and a more responsive system. Spinach does not just nourish your heart, it nurtures the entire network that keeps you feeling connected, responsive, and vibrantly alive. So we have seen the power of a humble bulb and a leafy green, but what about a root vegetable that paints your plate with vibrant color and fills your body with circulatory support? Can you guess what it might be? Third on our list is beets, the crimson current creator. There is something about beets that often takes even the most doubtful individuals I have worked with by surprise. When I first suggest them, I sometimes see a raised eyebrow. "Beets, Dr. Robert? Really?" But then, weeks later, they return with a different look. One of quiet satisfaction, sometimes even amazement. "Something has definitely shifted," they will say. "I just feel more vigorous." This is because beets, unassuming as they might appear, are one of nature's most formidable tools for restoring circulation, especially in ways that matter profoundly after 60. Beets are packed with dietary nitrates, which your body cleverly converts into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a vital molecule for relaxing and widening your blood vessels, and that process is absolutely critical. Because when your vessels are open and relaxed, blood flows more freely, particularly to areas that can become a bit sluggish with age. For both men and women, this can mean enhanced physical stamina, a greater sense of warmth and energy throughout the body, and even improved cognitive function. I have had clients tell me they feel a renewed warmth in their limbs, a feeling like an internal switch has been flicked back on. That is not just improved circulation, that is vitality returning. Clinical studies consistently show that regular consumption of beetroot, whether as juice or roasted, aids in managing blood pressure, enhances endothelial function, and boosts endurance. But beyond the scientific data, it is the emotional uplift it provides. A renewed sense of capability and connection. I recall a delightful couple, Eleanor and Arthur, both in their early 70s, who had found their shared evening walks becoming shorter and more tiring. 2 months into incorporating beets into their diet, they told me, "We feel like we have turned back the clock a little, doctor. We are enjoying our walks again and so much more." Beets are not an instant fix, but they are a wonderfully powerful foundation. From the earthy beet, we move to something a little more decadent. Could a treat you secretly love actually be good for your heart and circulation? The answer might delight you. Number 4, dark chocolate, the indulgent enhancer. Yes, you heard correctly. Chocolate. When I first bring up dark chocolate in consultations, I often get a chuckle. "You are telling me, Dr. Robert, that chocolate is good for my circulation?" They ask, a hint of playful disbelief in their voice. But once I explain the science and they experience the benefits, that amusement often transforms into genuine appreciation. Because yes, dark chocolate, when selected wisely and consumed in moderation, is one of an incredibly potent and enjoyable foods for those of us over 60 looking to boost circulation and foster a deeper sense of well-being. Dark chocolate is brimming with flavonoids, which are natural compounds that assist your blood vessels in relaxing, help to reduce inflammation, and elevate nitric oxide levels in your system. That last point is absolutely key. Nitric oxide, as we have discussed, is the magic molecule that helps your arteries open wide, allowing blood to flow freely. And when blood can navigate without obstruction, especially to every part of your body, it brings with it energy, improved sensitivity, and enhanced responsiveness. I remember Miss Peterson, a vibrant 73-year-old who had been feeling a bit mentally foggy and generally low in energy. She began enjoying just 2 small squares of 85% dark chocolate after her dinner each evening. A month later, she reported feeling sharper, more engaged, and with a sunnier disposition. "It feels like a little daily gift to myself," she said, "and I feel better for it." That is the wonderful thing about quality dark chocolate. It is not just delicious, it works in harmony with your body. It does not force an artificial response. It nourishes your blood vessels, supports your heart, and helps restore a sense of vitality. And equally important, it offers a small daily moment of pleasure. Remember, quality is paramount here. Aim for at least 70% cocoa content, low in sugar, and savor it. Your circulatory system will thank you. All right, we have had savory, leafy, earthy, and even a touch of sweet indulgence. What could possibly be next? This final food is a summertime favorite, bursting with hydration and a special nutrient that your blood vessels will adore. And finally, number 5, watermelon, the hydrating helper. I can still picture Mr. Davies' expression when I suggested watermelon for his flagging energy. He smiled politely and said, "Watermelon, doctor? I enjoy it in the summer, but for energy." I simply encouraged him to try. 3 weeks later, he walked into my office with a much brighter demeanor. "You know, doctor," he admitted, "I do feel a bit more buoyant." You see, watermelon is far more than just a thirst-quenching summer treat. It is one of the most wonderfully underrated aids we have for enhancing circulation and restoring a sense of get up and go in our later years. What makes watermelon so effective is an amino acid called citrulline. Once inside your body, citrulline is converted into another compound, arginine, which then, you guessed it, boosts nitric oxide production. This nitric oxide relaxes your blood vessels, permitting better blood flow throughout your entire body, from your head to your toes. People often ask, how much watermelon should I eat? A generous slice or 2 daily, perhaps a cup of cubed watermelon, can provide a good amount of citrulline. Now, what about when watermelon is not in season? You can often find frozen watermelon, which is great for smoothies, or consider other melons like cantaloupe, which also contain citrulline, though in different amounts. And while citrulline supplements do exist, there is something to be said for the synergistic effect of consuming it within the whole fruit, which also provides hydration, vitamins, and other beneficial plant compounds. The whole food often offers more than just one isolated component, and when blood flows more efficiently, everything starts to function with greater ease. More sustained energy, sharper focus, and a more natural zest for life. It is a gentle yet remarkably effective process. For those of us over 60, where natural circulatory efficiency can sometimes decline, watermelon acts as a natural support system. It does not compel your body, it enhances what your body inherently wants to do. One delightful lady, Mrs. Chen, age 74, shared that she had not felt truly energetic in what felt like ages. She started enjoying fresh watermelon slices regularly, and within a few weeks, she reported waking up with more vigor, both mentally and physically. The beauty of watermelon is its sheer enjoyability and ease of incorporation into your life. You are not struggling with pills or side effects. You are simply savoring something refreshing and naturally sweet, while quietly supporting the vital flow of life within. So how do these five powerhouses truly make a difference when brought together? This is where the real synergy begins. How these foods work in concert individually. Each of these foods, garlic, spinach, beets, dark chocolate, and watermelon, offers its own distinct and powerful benefits. But when you weave them together into your regular eating patterns, something truly remarkable occurs. Imagine this synergy. Garlic begins by helping to polish and clear your arterial pathways. Then, spinach steps in, providing nitrates and magnesium to help those vessels relax and open. Next, beets deliver a powerful boost of nitrates, further enhancing that nitric oxide production for optimal flow. Dark chocolate joins the team with its flavonoids, supporting vessel flexibility and reducing inflammation. And finally, watermelon contributes its citrulline, another precursor to nitric oxide, while also providing hydration. Each plays a distinct, vital role, and together their effects are amplified, creating a truly supportive environment for your entire circulatory system. Over time, your circulation does not just get a little better, it can genuinely transform. I have had clients who experimented with one or two of these foods in isolation and noticed subtle positive changes. But the individuals who truly committed to integrating all five into their weekly rhythm, that is where I have witnessed the most profound breakthroughs. I am thinking of a gentleman, Mr. Walters, 67 years old, who was initially quite doubtful, but agreed to a 30-day commitment. He began his mornings with beet juice and a spinach omelet, enjoyed watermelon as an afternoon snack, added fresh garlic to his evening meals, and savored a square of dark chocolate as a treat. At the end of that month, he told me his legs no longer felt heavy when he climbed stairs. He felt mentally clearer, slept more soundly, and, most touchingly, his wife had commented on his renewed cheerfulness. "I honestly did not expect this, Dr. Robert," he shared. "I feel like I have reclaimed a part of myself." And that is precisely what these foods are designed to facilitate. They do not just help your blood flow more efficiently, they support your confidence, help rebuild your energy reserves, and can restore that vital connection to life that many fear diminishes with age. This is not about a restrictive diet, it is about a return to holistic well-being. Each meal becomes an opportunity to nourish and heal. Consistency, not perfection, is the key. Even small, consistent daily additions can yield significant long-term benefits, especially when you understand the profound link between your food choices, your blood flow, and the very essence of your vitality and well-being. But before you dash off to the grocery store or overhaul your kitchen, I want to leave you with one final heartfelt thought. Because understanding these foods is one piece of the puzzle, but recognizing what is truly at stake if you neglect your circulatory health after 60, that is the message many do not hear until it feels too late. So in this last moment, let me speak to you from the heart about what happens if you choose inaction and why it is truly never too late to change course. A new chapter of vigor and joy. I have dedicated more than 3 decades to sitting with wonderful people just like you. Individuals who perhaps felt their most vibrant years were fading, who had quietly started to accept that fatigue, a sense of disconnection, or diminishing physical zest were simply an inevitable part of aging. But I am here with all sincerity to tell you that this narrative is not the whole truth, not by a long shot. What I have witnessed time and time again is the incredible resilience of the human body. When given the right, consistent support, it has an astonishing capacity to recover and rejuvenate, even after 60, even after 70, and beyond. Sometimes all it truly takes is a conscious shift in what graces your plate to spark a profound shift in how you feel, how you think, how you move, and how you connect with the world and those you love. These 5 foods we have explored today, garlic, spinach, beets, dark chocolate, and watermelon, are not mere suggestions or fleeting trends. They are fundamental building blocks for healthy blood flow, And as we know, blood flow is the river of life. When used thoughtfully and consistently, they do not just improve your physical parameters, they can help restore what many thought was lost for good. The ability to engage deeply with life, to move with greater ease and confidence, and to feel a profound sense of well-being in your own skin again. I understand that embarking on change is not always easy. Perhaps you have felt a little disheartened. Perhaps you have been quiet about the subtle shifts happening within your body. But please hear me when I say this. You are far from alone, and there is always a path forward. You do not necessarily need another prescription. What you often need most is the belief that your body is still an incredible, willing partner in your health, ready to respond if you give it the right tools. So I encourage you, start small, make one positive change this week, introduce one of these remarkable foods into your daily rhythm. Pay attention to how your body responds. And above all, never ever give up on yourself. Because vitality after 60 is not about trying to be who you once were. It is about embracing and becoming the vibrant, engaged person you are always meant to be at every age. A person who chooses every day to keep living fully and joyfully. If this conversation has resonated with you, if it has sparked a little hope or curiosity, please give this audio a thumbs up. It truly helps others find our community. And I have a little challenge for you. Which of these 5 fantastic foods are you most excited to try incorporating into your meals this week? Let me know in the comments below. Is it the garlic, the spinach, the beets, the dark chocolate, or the watermelon? I would absolutely love to hear which one sparks your interest the most. And most importantly, if you have not already done so, please do subscribe to Senior Wellness and click that notification bell. And speaking of supporting your circulation, while today we focused on what to add to your diet, do you ever wonder if there are foods you might be eating that are quietly working against your efforts? Well, in our next episode, we will be diving into just that, the common culprits that can hinder blood flow. You will not want to miss it. Thank you for joining me today. I am Dr. Robert, and I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Until then, be well and keep nourishing that wonderful life within you.